Connecting the Jamaican diaspora abroad and at home. Sides of a story. Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora. Both sides of the story. You always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Time now for Both Sides of a Story, the story of Jamaicans at home and Jamaicans abroad on Power 106 FM. We will not take sides, but we listen to your side. Stay with us as we explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on Both Sides of the Story by calling our local numbers 876-922-4112-5. You can listen to Both Sides of the Story on the Power 106 FM app via the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, as well as on onespotmedia.com. Plus, listeners in the USA can dial 631-359-8281 to listen. And if you're in the UK and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, you can call 0330-606-0953. You can watch Both Sides of the Story live on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Both Sides 106. Email bothsides106@live.com. Send your WhatsApp voice notes, audio messages, and text messages to 876-365-4346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to Both Sides of the Story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Wait, hold on.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. You always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session, hour 106.
Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body in the service of my fellow citizens. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. The national pledge song, sung by the children of Jamaica. 2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's also the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. Of course, we started off with the recitation of the National Pledge, and we've paired it with the National Pledge song. It's the 10th day of the 10th month of 2023, the International Year of Millets. A millet is a cereal grown in warm countries and regions with poor soils, bearing a large crop of small seeds, which are chiefly used to make flour. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. Can you believe that? Put another way, it's the 10th day. Well, if you missed it, we'll repeat. 2023 is also the International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. And if we look around us right now, all over the globe, not least of all right here in Jamaica, there's hardly any peace. Hardly. Everybody wants their voice to be heard, but nobody wants to listen. In this 2023 International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. In other words, trying to work it out, negotiations, discussions, agreements, arrangements, etc., etc. in this International Year of Dialogue as a guarantee of peace. Whatever happened to that? Put another way, it's the 10th day of the 10th month of the 2023. Well, let's do that again. Right, it's the 10th day of the 5th month of the 2023 North Atlantic hurricane season. And according to Jamaica's weather service, there's a tropical wave just west of Jamaica. A reminder that a tropical wave is a slow-moving disturbance that is embedded in the easterly trade winds. It is an area of low pressure in the atmosphere that moves westward from Africa into the Atlantic. Tropical waves are troughs of low pressure. Remember what we have said about troughs in the past and what they portend? They usually portend some kind of weather disturbance or instability, one way or another. So tropical waves are troughs of low pressure, typically orientated in a north-south direction that move from east to west in the tropics. They cause areas of cloudiness and thunderstorms. Speaking of which, cloudiness, showers, and thunderstorms associated with the current tropical wave is expected to continue, especially across western parishes today. Then there's also a high-pressure ridge, which is expected to build across the island later today. A high-pressure ridge is an elongated area of high pressure that extends out from a high-pressure center. It is called a ridge because it has the shape of an upside-down U, the letter U, on a weather map. High-pressure ridges are formed when air cools and sinks, creating surface divergence. High pressure ridges often deflect the flow of more active weather and can cause prolonged periods of dry weather. The rest of this afternoon, though, into evening, we'll see showers and thunderstorms mainly across central and western parishes. Tonight, isolated showers across western parishes. Elsewhere will be fair. The local weather report shows an area of low pressure located several miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands, otherwise known as Cape Verde Islands. That there's a high chance of tropical cyclone development over the next 2 days. Plus, out there in the region, there's also a stationary front which is across northwestern Cuba. A stationary front, another weather term. That's the name, well, as the name suggests, it is a front that is not moving. A stationary front is, as the name suggests, a front that is moving. That the stationary front is as the name suggests, is a front that is not moving. When a warm or cold front stops moving, it becomes a stationary front. So you've heard about a cold front. There's also a warm front. Well, there's also a stationary front. But the stationary front, as the name suggests, is a front that is not moving. When a warm or cold front stops moving, it becomes a stationary front. Once the boundary resumes its forward motion, it once again becomes a warm front or a cold front. In terms of observances, in the month of October, the month is still being observed as Oral Health Month, a good month in which to take care of our oral hygiene. It's National Egg Month, a good time for us to celebrate our egg farmers. It's Jamaica Red Cross Month. Let's celebrate our volunteers. Lupus Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, National Heritage Month. And in fact, we are essentially in Heritage Week, or embarking on, yes, this is National Heritage Week. It's also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And also in terms of this week is Mental Health Week here in Jamaica. In fact, today is Mental Health Day. And as we said, we're in National Heritage Week. It's World Day Against the Death Penalty. World Day Against the Death Penalty. The people of Cuba are marking the anniversary of the beginning of the War of Independence. It's Double 10th Day, a national holiday in Taiwan, Moi Day in Kenya, and Party Foundation Day in North Korea. So you'll be hearing more patriotic recordings in this National Heritage Week under the theme, Our Heritage, a Great Legacy. More in a moment.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now
2:15. Supreme Real Estate, licensed real estate dealers, the experts in residential, commercial, industrial, hotels, and villa sales, rentals, and leases. Supreme Real Estate, Main Street, Salem, Runaway Bay, St. Anne. Call 876-973-5026 or 876-973-6142 and email supremerealestate@cwjamaica.com.
Hoy es martes el 10 de octubre 2023 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est mardi, le 10 octobre 2023, et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi sabemos, no, mixing up with the Spanish now. Come on, get this right. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, de lundi au mercredi. Let's go again. De 2h à 5h dans l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. And all we're simply saying is it's Tuesday, the 10th of October, 2023, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never, ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, wherever, whenever. We acknowledge those who have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 from the United States, 631-359-8281, 631-359-8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330 606 0953. 0330 606 0953. We're taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. We do have quite a few leftover messages from yesterday, and we'll come to those in a moment. But we also have a couple of updates for you, which we will share, starting locally right here in Jamaica. What do we have here? Here we go again. Attempted robbery of beryllium security guards in Harborview. So I was actually at a certain place this morning and was surrounded by beryllium security guards, and I have to tell you I was a little nervous, but I'm happy to have been able to extricate myself from that area eventually. But serious business. The latest is that there was another robbery, attempted robbery of beryllium security guards in Harborview. Gunmen this afternoon attacked beryllium security guards in Harborview, St. Andrew, in an attempted robbery. The guards resisted the attack. Head of corporate communications at Guardsman Group, of which Beryllium is a member, Lieutenant George Overton. Let's see what he had to say. He told the Gleaner that a guard received very minor injuries. He says no money was stolen. The robbers fled the scene and reportedly changed cars. They are now being pursued by the police. More details to come. So we'll see what happens. But we obviously have to be extra careful in this kind of environment. And we actually remember making mention of the importance of being careful, because we detected that we were going into a period when certain kinds of people, certain groups of people would need money, would need resources, because they have been running out of money for some time. The people who need money in order to keep going, but they have to stay below ground as opposed to above ground. And that is a big part of it. We have mentioned that many times before in the past, because we felt that one coming and we saw it coming, that the aim was to try and get money going forward, to get money to sustain themselves and their cronies. And that is continuing as we speak. So we need to be mindful of it. And it's also inconveniencing a lot of people these days. Because this morning, a customer went to the machine and there was absolutely no money in it whatsoever. And the beryllium team, apparently, that was on location this morning, managed to put some money in that machine. Other than that, people are moving from machine to machine, but not being served fully. And another one here, Jamaica still pressing EU on visa waiver. That's, I don't know why some diplomats seem to be a little nervous about. Well, I think I have an idea, but I'm just saying. Jamaica continues to have dialogue with the European Union, EU, on the country's request for a direct visa waiver for all citizens. We'll repeat. One of the stories trending on the Gleaner's website, Jamaica continues to have dialogue with the European Union, EU, on the country's request for a direct visa waiver for all citizens. Further, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Orlando Terrelong, has expressed optimism for the dialogue to reach an agreement on the long-standing proposal for a special visa regime, specifically the need for a touring visa for cultural practitioners, including musicians. Well, they've been touring extensively already. I'm not sure how much of a change. We'll see. We will see. All right, so that's another of the stories trending. And we have yet another. And this one says, a story about PNP parting ways with former Westmoreland candidate accused of rape. Legal and Constitutional Affairs Ministry warns public against motor vehicle scam. 2 killed in Spanish attack. Jamaica team mine robotics Olympics in Singapore. Yes, they were struggling to find funds. And we featured them a couple of times on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. And they managed to raise some serious money, because apparently traveling to Singapore, to travel to Singapore costs a lot of money. And then when you multiply the number of team members and their coaches and maybe 1 or 2 chaperones. So they got the support from Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad in order to fund their participation in the Olympics, the robotics Olympics in Singapore. And they came out victorious. That's outstanding. That's outstanding. We have a picture of them here, and with Carleen Largy and the coaches and the players, the students. They're students from Glenmuir Campion, the American International School of Kingston. Who am I leaving out? I think JC might be in there as well. These are the Jamaicans who represented Jamaica at the Robotics Olympics. So the story is Jamaica's team won gold at the Robotics Olympics in Singapore. The team topped the competition, held from October 7 to 10, so it ends today, to win the Katherine Johnson Award for Engineering Documentation. The award is named after African-American, let's tell you some more in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 2:30.
We are back. Tune into Power 106 for Season 3 of Gen Z. Whether you need a dose of humor, advice, or inspiration, we have you covered. You get to hear from our amazing guests, join in on the chats, and learn with us along the way. That's Season 3 of Gen Z.
The award that was won by Jamaica's robotics team, is named after African-American mathematician Katherine Johnson, dubbed the human computer. That's how she's referred to, the human computer, who helped to calculate aeronautics that helped guide the return of astronauts John Glenn and Alan Shepard to Earth from space. The award is given to the team that best demonstrates the journey they took in building their robot. The team was captained by Jonathan Smith from Campion College and included Sean Michael Ferguson, also from Campion College, Duncan Stanley from Woolmer's Boys School, Glenmuir High School's Terence Grant, Kimi Chigan from Hillel Academy, and Teja Lee Hall Watts from the American International School in Kingston. They are accompanied by 2 coaches and 2 chaperones. The robotics team was sponsored by the United States-based nonprofit organization, Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations, UJA, UJAA. The theme for this year's Olympics in Singapore, hydrogen-based energy technologies. Hydrogen-based energy technologies. The Olympics are held annually with participation from some 160 countries. We were privileged to attend a few years ago in Washington, D.C., just a few steps away from the White House. It's quite a prestigious tournament. UJA has been undertaking sending teams to the Robotics Olympics since 2011. Last year, the Jamaica team won the silver medal in the Albert Einstein Award category for First Global, and that's not the bank now, that's the name of the organization, an acronym. So First Global International Excellence, while UJA won the Al Khwarizmi Award for Outstanding Supporter. The Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations has been the primary sponsor since the first Global Challenge, FGC, began in 2017. The association says the program provides students with the expertise and exposure to a once-in-a-lifetime experience that not only allows them to engage with students from across the globe, but combines their accomplishment with encouragement and pride as true ambassadors of Jamaica for Jamaicans globally. Everyone agrees that STEM education is the future, and the robotics competition is one way of exposing Jamaican students to technological developments taking place, said President Donovan Wilson. He said that it is paramount that Jamaican students are exposed to robotics if they are to succeed in the future. So roll out the box sets with all the parts for the respective robots, and let's revolutionize the use of the technology, which can help our youngsters who become adults, and they don't have to wait until they become adults in this day and age, to create awesome innovations that will serve the world for better. Thank you very much to the Gleaner for bringing the story to our attention. I suspected we would have, well, we are likely to get that call, which we usually do, or email from Carleen Largy, who is leading the Union of Jamaican Alumni Associations at the moment. And we look forward to hearing how it all went. We're going to arrange that. In the meantime, let's just greet those who have joined us since the last time we have checked, and it's quite a few. Winifred Campbell, good afternoon to you too. Thank you very much for tuning in. Violet White says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan. Good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and faithful listeners. Good afternoon, Faye Weller. Norman Hines in St. Thomas, good afternoon to you too. Violet White says congratulations to Team Jamaica Robotics. Chris Banton says, big up yourself, Sir Malcolm. So, Mr. Malcolm, quadruple killing, now the norm in Jamaica. This is the third week in a row of such killings. Quadruple killings in North Trelawney. Shake my head. This is what happens when we have misplaced energy. Because we have more than enough evidence of the capacity of our people to do well. Yes, we can perhaps argue that maybe enough hasn't been done or more needs to be done to help our multi-talented young people to. We can't afford to give up on Jamaica and to give up on our young people. We have more than our fair share of disruptors in a good way, because that word and that term of disruptor or disruption has come to mean something good in this day and age, because it means we have made new discoveries, we have embarked on innovations which have resulted in the replacement of previously employed procedures, systems, operations, mechanics, apparatuses, etc. So it's just a pity that we still seem so far away from some significant reduction in the rate, pardon the expression, but the rate of murderation in Jamaica. And on the face of it, so far, nobody seems to have a fix. People have done a little here, a little there, and as individuals, we may or may not have played or are playing our part. There's still no fix. We have political parties who continue to compete over when crime is at the highest, or most of the murders committed in the country, and this and that, and backing and forthing, but still not able to arrive at a sustainable solution out of this crisis. Can you imagine? It's been 61 years now, if we want to start at 1962. It's 61 years now, and we can't find a sustainable solution, a fix for effectively keeping our people in check, managing our people, so that we have a more harmonious society. How can the country that has given the world one love found itself in this predicament? We gave the world one love, but we still can't find that one love on Jamaican soil. It's really sad, though. It's really sad. Really, really very sad. But we shouldn't be daunted, and we can't afford to be weary at this stage. Those of us who still have some energies to give, let's continue to do the best we can while we can for whomever we can until we can't. But we have to be able to see that picture, to get sight of that vision and the extent to which that vision can take us to a better place. But it's been 61 years and we're still here. well, you get the point. Not the same. I mean, a lot of people are no longer with us, but we have to find a way. We have to make a way. It's almost like a race to the bottom. Everybody competing. People competing to be the worst of the worst. I'm always happy to find myself in certain places at the right time. I've been to a few places over the weekend. And don't want to say too much, but the essence of it that was about to be played out in front of all of us who were man a threatened for cut man throat on the basis that somebody made a comment while noticing somebody going ahead in the line instead of waiting in line. Man ready for bust man throat. Just like that. Just like that. Where do we get this? Where does this come from? This kind of vitriol and viciousness. I wonder if Steve McDonald has the answer. He's in Toronto, Canada, and he's calling through to us right now. Let's see if he has found the cure for the high level of violence in Jamaica. Steve McDonald, good afternoon. Thank you for calling. Thanks for joining us. Mr. McDonald, are you there?
Yes, Dervan, how you doing?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
Are you hearing me okay?
Hearing you okay now. A while ago, it sounded as if you were in the midst of that movie, Gone with the Wind. It was quite windy. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm in the car, so it does sound bad at that way at times. So first, let me say good afternoon to you and to your listeners, people of Westmoreland. Let us speak to particular my head speak. Just want I caught the last part of your preamble with regards to the man who gave us one love, and I don't know if you knew at that time. You're just a toddler. Not that I am betraying my age. Not much older there. But anyway, with Bob didn't get much love from Jamaicans, until he passed away and probably got big on the international scene. But that by aside, putting that aside for a quick minute. Dervan, this has been 50 years in the making. We've outsourced our governance to politicians. And I've heard you said before, I think I've heard you said before that we need a truth and reconciliation for what transpired in the 70s and the 80s between the JLP and the PNP. And I've also made that call too. And, because we've had some atrocities from then, and which just seem to have laid the seeds, which hasn't stopped from that period till now.
Hold on. Let's pick it up. Pick up the discussion right after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Yes, Steve, back with you.
Yes, I'm saying from the Michael Manley and Seaga era, we've had some atrocities that weren't adequately dealt with.
That is true.
I think we've had those indiscipline, and we've continued, and even for those who were responsible, they were honored with positions in our government. and people who were guilty of different atrocities were sent away to different areas and and kept by the state in certain areas, protected by the states, and then even since then, we've not seemed to have a very good handle on indiscipline, illegal activities. Our politicians walk a very thin line, and some will even say have an incestuous relationship with criminal activities. I remember we can recall people who were big in scamming at one time, being involved in in one of the political parties, and even now we hear that was it $1 million US, $1 billion US? I think Minister Chang said coming annually into the country annually for illicit means. And nothing seemed to be done with that. The remittance, some of the remittance which are coming in are illicit money, and nothing is done. And we have the government refused to pass the unexplained wealth legislation to deal with the illicit people gaining wealth from illicit activities. Why? Because the money actually go into the formal economy. And a lot of the people in the formal economy benefit from that. So, we even though we lament and we say, oh, mass killing, and we cry and so forth, as soon as you turn your back and you say, all right, no, we can't touch that because that's creating jobs there. Yeah, we remember just earlier this year when there was a killing in Spanish Town at the bus stop. They went in to deal with the killing. They didn't touch the extortion any at all. We know that extortion exists in downtown Kingston. We're not touching that. We saw what happened with Crab Circle. What are we hearing that we're going to give them a 2-day or 3-day course and then allow them to come back out. No monitoring, nothing. No corrective actions being put in place. And so from a management perspective, government perspective, they're weak on those things, and we Jamaican continue to run up and down and say we're born PNB, we're born JLP, and nobody not born Jamaican. And so because of that, we put all of those things above our country, and to be honest, we're going to have to take what I believe direct effort in terms of to reframe, reculture, retrain our youths to get them to a certain level, to get them back to where it was when back in the 80s when I could walk up and down in Lennox be good, and all I had to worry about was ducky and rolling calf. Then I have to concern myself with anything else, right? In terms of people shooting us and so forth. It's so that's the challenge that we have, and until look what is happening now. The PM, our Prime Minister, hasn't been 2 years, and what's happening? Jamaica continue like no problem on. Right? No PSOJ coming down and saying anything. No Council of Church coming down and saying anything. For 2 years, the man who leads the country, his thing cannot be sorted out. And we continue. So, everything else is just a farce, Dervan. Everything else is no problem, man. Right? And that is it. You cannot have us. You can't come to me and tell me that you want to get rid of all of this illicit activity when at the same time the PM, he is saying, look, we have all of the different, you have the STARS program, and you have this program, and you have that program, and SOE, and what's the other one, Zozo, and so forth, but yet still the PM thing can't be. So what moral or ethical authority does the government have to come and ask me about anything? When the PM himself thing is not, and he doesn't feel that he need to come out and speak about it, and none of the other people them. How can a police rightfully come and arrest me for something or break any rules? We saw when the minister of transportation now run through the red light. What we heard, that the red light wasn't working, but it was working for the person behind him. So, we really have to get serious and call a spade a spade. We can't continue to dance around the thing and expect it to get better. As them step on the road, we have to speak the truth with Jesus' love. And, we have
Hello?
in our deliberation.
Sorry, we lost you. Lost you at we have.
Okay, yes, I say that we have to be honest now and really do some deliberation, because it's only getting worse. And where them say from the top. And the PM have to come out clean now and tell us what is happening. I won't show the system. All right, Dervan, thank you very much for having me on. I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-99, what am I saying? 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon, Anne Ramsey. Good to see you online. Thank you for tuning in. She says, terrific Tuesday. Shanardo Weston asks, is beryllium an easy target? Well, they seem to have been shoring up their resources and movements to minimize any further fallout financially, and importantly, that no more lives are lost in that regard. Marcel Worrell says, this is not the Jamaica I grew up in. I will always love my country. Jamaicans like you keep us stronger. You're very kind, Marcel Worrell. Thank you very much for your message. To the phone line once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Miss Mervis.
Oh, I didn't know I was in,
You're in. Go ahead, please, Miss Mervis.
Everybody all right at power?
As far as we're aware, yes.
And bless up to all the listeners. Today is what, mental health day?
Yes.
Come like the whole way of mental health, mental problem.
But we do. Dr. What's his name told us a long time ago. Dr. Earl Wright told us, it made the front page of the Gleaner as well. He told us a long time that we all have a touch of let's just say a touch of it.
Because of the condition under which we live. Too much stress,
That could very well be part of it.
Economic stress, fear, all kind of things bring on mental problems. In the midst of comfort and joy and peace, your mental capacity is better. But in the midst of all of this worldwide chaos and confusion, not Jamaica alone,
Yes.
Because remember that what's going on in the rest of the world affects us out here too.
Yes.
And when I listen to CBS and CNN and BBC West, Fox News and the whole of them, madness going on all over the place. But it looks like some demon let loose this place over there.
Why do you say that?
It's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to keep on telling them 5 years of the world, this is allowed that demon exceeded. It's not normal. They're 77-year-old, I mean, I know this kind of madness down the road. The other day I heard you with a piece of news that said 1966. They killed 6 persons and Mr. Manley and Buster Man to join together and call a state of emergency. When you were reading your history.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. 66 somebody them kill, you know. And they call state of emergency in a 66. So, this is crazy, man. These people can't be normal. No. It's not normal behavior. You look at the children just getting all like them crazy. Everybody just the way it turn. People just miserable as they put brush on them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're on edge. You know? I keep telling people that we need to understand this world is a physical and a spiritual world, you know, Dervan.
Yes.
And there are times when you have to be careful what is going on in your mind, you know. As you know, my message is the power of the mind. Some foolishness come up sometimes, you see? Yeah? Real rubbish, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You have to guard your mind, you know, that's why the national vision say your mind is your most powerful, precious, and valuable possession. And the power
in all your guarding, guard your mind.
Yes, but that is how the message here from 93 when we are about here and a poster message. So you're the one with the national anthem also. It said your mind is your most powerful, precious, and valuable possession. And the powerhouse of personal, national change and development. Guard it well from negative influences. And I did have a big launch of that program 1995 beyond the era of the mind. And I've been preaching mind power from way down there. In the schools I went to, all over the place, you know, the newspaper all about, you know? And I don't know, this mind thing, and you realize that some place in the Bible tell you about your heart is not really your heart, it's your mind. You know? Yes, gird up the line of your mind. And all them things there, you know? You know, I just meet up on a piece of paper a while ago when I used to go to the schools. I used to have some poster messages before I do the talk. And it says if you are being influenced to do wrong by someone else, you are shamefully weak, but that person is awfully strong. Let's buck it up in a, you know? Some people we are allowing into certain things, man. These are coming from various places, some of it in the music, you know, all kind of something, people around you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People have to understand that your mind valuable. That's why the message me carry out all the while. Keep your mind, man. Careful what's going in there. Some people getting rich by pumping rubbish in a people, man, you know. So I'm singing music and all them things, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So this mental thing, you whole life. You cannot afford to anything mess up your mind because your mind control everything. Yeah? The first time one of them folk songs, say careful of your mind. Positive, strong, constructive, and become more productive and run the negative out of business. You know that way? Never we are versioning songs, you know. Just to put over that mind power message. People need to understand your mindset careful. A whole heap of power around the place pumping out garbage, mental garbage. And you got to keep that mind of yours in perfect peace. Doesn't matter what happens because when that gone, nothing is left.
So it is.
You know, so as is mental health, me just want to tell me fellow Jamaicans, guard your mind very well. Doesn't matter who, what, where you are, that is the most valuable part of your life. Because everything passes through your mind and you have to be careful what's coming through it.
That's right.
Huh?
That's so correct.
No, man, we live in a great country. I don't know. We just
We're up on a break, Miss Mervis.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Thank you very much, Miss Mervis. Please continue before we have to wrap.
Yes. I have some pictures of some things that I used to do these talks, and you see, when the rain falls and you if the street is not clean, and you watch all the juice, the stuff going down on the water top, you know, those are some of the kind of things I use when I do some talks. I said, you should not allow yourself to be carried like that. Just carry on with the tide, you know? And then when I look at the corner going around to Port Mary, you have two rivers, some rivers entering into the sea. This thing just go down into the sea, and the sea just backs them out on the shore, so you have to have beach cleanup. Not true?
Yes.
And people must not allow themselves to be dragged down and carried like when rain falling and you have to juice back to all kind of garbage that go down on top of the Ocean River out of Port Mary. So that's some of the things I'm using, you know. No, man,
yes, the analogy is quite palpable.
Yeah, the strength. Pull on, if people pulling on negative strength and doing what they're doing, there's a positive strength that we can pull on, don't we?
Why not?
Yes, why aren't we pulling on the positive strength? Why are we allowing ourselves to be carried down like you know, we have no value? When God said create man after him is our likeness, he even tell me so that he tell the people about the God of Daniel and them people, you know.
Daniel, God surely will deliver.
He said tell them about the God of creation. Because this generation might about. So when we go out there now, we must tell them about the God of creation, because everybody can see the creation and all what is going on in there. And if you're created after God will create this creation, you're not supposed to be a great person, Dervan. When you take a look at God's creation, the man so great no what? The song, I love it to see.
Yeah, greatness begets greatness.
What bother me is that you must hear that song at funerals, you know. Oh Lord my God, when I know some wonder.
Yes.
Consider the world thy hands have made. When you look at the flowers and the trees and the variety of stuff, and if the created after him, I like the concept of God, we're not supposed to be a fool. No? But I think we don't know who we are. Many, not we. Some of us don't know who we are. And we allow people to tell us who we are. Voices to tell us who we are, what we must do. You know? But we need to be conscious, man, that we are great. God's greatest piece of masterpiece. Nothing can replace, man, you know. Because all of what you see around the place in the name of technology, who made them? Eh?
Tell me who made them, and tell me who make the joy.
Some of people in there and baggage and what? No man make it.
Eh? Yes, indeed. And
we have created a lot of things and bring a lot of things into being, but there's a set of people that is set on destroying things.
Yes.
I always look at the tower that was hit in America, and look how much people and money and time it takes to build that tower. And one day I knock it down with a plane. Eh? No, man. There are some people out here, man. This is not a physical war, you know, Dervan. This is a spiritual war, man. And a physical war. This is a spiritual warfare that watching Israel and the other day I was listening to a program and he told me that the Jews are spitting at Christian over there. Because some of them don't believe in this Christian, this Jesus thing. Yeah. Shortly before the attack on Israel, some people still not accept Christ, you know. The type of whatever that Jesus Christ bring down. And the next thing, my fellow church people need to preach what Jesus said we preach. We must stop preach church denomination. Jesus never, everywhere in the scripture Jesus speaking about the kingdom of heaven is like unto. He needs us to preach the kingdom, man, and get attached to the kingdom so that we are empowered to do what we are supposed to do. We need to wipe out them if a denominational something. Get rid of them. You must fellowship together. You start the rum man, go a bar with him friend and the man play football, go a football field. But we can't just go around the place with this whole heap of church organization and talking different things. Jesus never preached that. He preached kingdom. And try to get mankind to get connected to the God of the kingdom. And there's a peace come from. Lasting peace. Your heart, soul, mind. Love yourself next. And then love your neighbor as yourself. You can't go otherwise. If you don't love yourself, and if you kill somebody, you kill yourself before you kill somebody, you know. To destroy somebody, you destroy yourself first. Think. People, something needs to be spoken into people's mind. They need to understand what is going on. That evil force is out there, Dervan. And my fellow listeners, there's that evil force. Not the physical man. The force is using the physical person. And we need to go beyond that and draw on that extra power that give us, make us different from the cows and the donkey and the goat them. We are special people down here, creatures. And we need to wake up to that fact. And the government, is supposed to produce good people and community man. And the police supposed to produce them. And politicians. And community and school, not so. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
And we supposed to produce them individually because life is an individual thing, People, everybody is so unique, Dervan, not true?
Yes, indeed.
Everybody must understand, everybody, teach party people front time. A party different person you have in front of you,
Which is why that's the first lesson some of us who play our part have to share with the young people. We first of all remind them that each of them is unique. In the time gone past, there was never another human being like this one individual.
No,
in
they
this
need to understand that
yes
too.
and
That
it,
message needs to be conveyed to them. And I heard Delia say something in a program one evening. So from you enter school, you're preparing the exam. I wish you would repeat it enough time. Yeah? From you enter school, you're preparing for exam. Yeah. Very serious argument. Children need to learn to love their parents, Dervan. Yes. They need to respect their parents and love their parents and help them. You know what I mean?
yes, indeed.
Them one can't want all the love, man. Because we talk to them. It's a can't want sweet up put in their mouth, no? Go and wash up the plate now, clean up the place. So that when they come in, them feel good. Eh? Them have to find the food and find the gear. While you like and the rest of go but do all the little things they didn't get to do in the morning. You know what I mean? And then them one want love, Dervan. Eh? Everybody want love. What? Them need to love them parents and respect them, and some of them out of the body, Dervan.
Yes, we get the point you're making.
Yes. So we need to start to focus on the children and tell them they need to protect themselves too. Because some of them not doing that. They're getting involved in all kind of foolishness from long time from in our system. We know that. So there's a situation where we need to go and speak to them and tell them what their responsibilities are. And they are creating another generation. They must make sure them live what they want to live into when we are gone. Thanks for the time.
Thank you for calling. Take care.
Yes,
Bless you too. Poro 106 FM. Hello. Good afternoon. Perhaps that person got tired of waiting. Sorry about that. Another call, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello. All right, let's move on. 876-922-4112-5. Let's clear some of these text messages and WhatsApp messages. Oh, we have leftovers from yesterday. Yes, it would appear so. So let's clear these leftover messages first, and then we'll come to the current messages. Alfred says, water pump that uses water. Let's go again. Not all police stations have an SSP. Small stations have ASPSS, and some have office in charge as an inspector or a sergeant. The word police officers, or the term police officers, starts with ASP, SS, SSP, up to COP. The other members are constable, corporal, sergeant, or inspector. And Alfred also shares with us a water pump. So he says, water pump that uses water to pump water, no fuel or electricity required, as per our telecom a few evenings ago. Or is it telephone conversation? All right, we'll come back to those messages in a moment, but let's go to the phone lines. 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Good afternoon, Michael. Thanks for calling. I heard you this morning. I can't imagine what new you're coming with this time. Or are you going to share the same message with us this time?
Now really, me just call you from the work with you what you do, man. Me like the work what you do.
All right, that's kind of you to say.
Yeah, man. Because when me talk this one, me talk it all a while, you know. Even the party in school still, you know, in some Malcolm, would I like to see the two shift cause of fight, you know, cause what's going on, the children, them getting half day at school, you know, in partying, you know.
Yes, it's
And he's the Minister of Education constituency, you know. So I would like you for work for it, because even one time, Mr. Ronald Tracy say, work during the time I'm Minister of Education, yeah. Him say me leave money there for construct building that's coming to one day business, you know, not the two shifts, Mr. Malcolm. Because you must imagine, you know, children coming from all out of the Blue Mountain, say, half day coming down a poppy and say, half day, not worth it, not worth it, Mr. Malcolm.
yeah. There was a campaign on in earnest when Ronnie Thwaites was Minister of Education. There was a drive, a move to transform the shift schools to single shift institutions. Not sure how far they got to in that regard. What's the name of the Donald Quarry High School was one of those that was for upgrading to a one shift institution as opposed to two shifts. We'll have to check to find out if those institutions, including Papine, if those institutions are now on single shifts as opposed to double shifts.
As a world ambassador, and I would like to check the Minister of Education, you know, because Papine School is our constituency. I want to work by, because when we come in a party in a daytime, I start to see children on the road. Some are going to school, some are come from school in a middle day.
Yeah, well, that sounds like the shift system is still on. We'll have to follow up on that.
Yeah, because I remember when Selassie I come down here, you know, and give the government the money to build a university, then grab up the money and build up Selassie High School. It was a university, then should have built, you know, the next man come down here, Fidel Castro, and give them Mr. Margie, the several children from Jamaica, go out of Cuba, return doctor and thing, man. So they must step up, especially on Papine School for me, Mr. Malcolm.
We hear you loud and clear.
Have a good day, Mr. Malcolm, as the world ambassador at Golf East over Ocean Bolton. Tell you, the man, the Cassius, everything in one.
That's kind of you to say. Thank you very much for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still checking on the leftover messages from yesterday. Let's see. Let's download this one. Holiday Hope. My name is that of the Freetown Foundation. We're tackling an ambitious project of trying to give out 150 bags with groceries and toiletries, as well as feed the children on the same day, giving them a gift when the day is over. The event takes place on Friday, December 22nd. We're nowhere near our goal yet, as we need support in getting the word out there that we can up our donations. I'm asking if you could help us interviewing our program chair. Well, let's check on that off air and come back to you. But we're going to the break now.
You're listening to Poro 106 FM. The time is now
3:15. Harold, do you have a minute? I need your help with something.
What that no?
I'm filling out this form from the company's office, and there's a section about beneficial ownership, but I don't even know what that means.
Well, a beneficial owner is anybody that owns or controls a company. That could be anyone, a shareholder, director, or manager of the company. The company's office also needs to know the identity of all these people, including their occupation, nationality, date of.
Okay, I think I understand now.
One more thing. Remember, company's office needs this information when you start in a company, filing annual returns, or making changes to the beneficial owners. They're also going to need you to maintain a record of these persons. For more information, visit orcjamaica.com and bohubjamaica.com. Advertise in the Children's Zone, the publication that makes learning fun and impactful. With over 1 million readers monthly, the Children's Zone brings you unparalleled reach. Contact your Gleaner sales representative or call 876-932-6020 and ask about the special advertising packages now available for a limited time only. Access untapped opportunities in the Children's Zone.
Continuing with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well, 876-365-3346. Another leftover message from yesterday. Hey, Dervan, how's it going? Please tell our folks that illusions don't work like karma. If this karma is real, then why the colonial masters getting their rewards? That sounds like a coded one. We'll have to figure that one out. Arlene Clark says, good day, Dervan. Please help me solve this problem that I noticed. Where did the JUTC new buses come from? China, Japan, or otherwise? This is what I noticed running alongside the length of the windshield. Taishin City. So I said, there is no city in Jamaica by that name. Yes, I saw that too. That got my attention the first time I saw one of the buses. I recognized. It could very well be China, because the name of that city it is possible for that to be a place name in China, in which case it would be Taishin, Hetaixin, Hetaixin, which would be pinyin, using the letters of the English alphabet to create Chinese sounds. Hetaixin. So it could very well be in China. But anyway, could very well be from China. Could even be from Japan. Anyway, the message goes on. So I said there is no city in Jamaica by that name. Why didn't the management of JUTC put the destination of the bus in English, rather a language that majority don't speak or have a clue of what it is saying? Or it came down like this and they don't know how to erase it. That was the first thing that came to my mind, that they didn't, because of the urgent need for these buses, they weren't able to reprogram the running words on the screen that would tell us precisely where their route, that would give us a sense of their route. Anyway, the person goes on to say, paranda is another word I noticed. In the bus, it lights up when you press the stop sign. So I guess it means stop. Several of these new buses I see with the issues. I have the license plate numbers, but I will not share now. Yeah, it obviously they had to be rushed into service. So whatever updating needed to be done was not done, or perhaps is still being done. We will see what happens going forward. And the listener who called earlier today to say she wasn't hearing Power 106 FM in Springfield, St. Thomas, the 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 technical team, the engineers are aware and will do what they usually do, solve the problem. This one says, where does it start? This is from yesterday still. Yeah, this one from yesterday. My six politicians under investigation, and this person has gone on to list the politicians. Yom Kippur is one of God's 7 feasts to Israel and is known as Feast of Atonement, Leviticus 23. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Please tell Portmore that the lineage of the Jews is from the father only and not the mother. This has been so from the Old Testament. Most people think it's from the mother, convert to Judaism or naturalization, which is not the case. Greg is impartial and has been doing a great job. And a message that came in today from Patrick Howell, and the other messages apparently are from Patrick Howell. Please, good day. Well, this one was for Dr. Gale. Good day, Sir Gale. Please tell Portmore, right? So it's a repeat message. So let's move on. James in East London has sent us the usual collection of stories out of the UK. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says they're also stealing cars and using the money to buy guns, and some of the police are turning a blind eye to this. Well, if you can help to identify those police, maybe you could help to make a difference in the situation as it currently obtains. 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
And you're a lot of argument pertaining to integrity and declaration. And in Jamaica, you have an integrity committee that is supposed to assess liabilities and assets of people involved in politics and the public sector. But we have heard about people that have yet to meet the necessary criteria, but their names have not been presented in many cases, especially those in the public sector.
Well, Bob Marley reminded us a long time ago that what was hidden in the dark must come out to light.
Yeah, and I believe in that, but what is supposed to come out into the light, it is best that it be done speedily, because many of us may go 6 foot 6 before things may come to light. And if things continue as though they are, many things are not going to come to light, because a lot of people have run foul of what is expected of them in terms of what should be due process. And they have got away scot-free. And many people believe that it is par for the court to be involved in not making true disclosures and involved in wholly fancy footwork, and hoping that the people will not be intelligent enough to demand wokeness and transparency as to exactly what is the true position where finances is concerned, where people are involved. Because right now the problem that we have is that reports will be sent to Parliament and a true information is not given as to exactly what causes the problem. And we need to change those laws. Because you have a man named Greg Christie presented some information at the Prime Minister some time back when he was abroad, when it shows that what he sent to foreign media was not factual because the Prime Minister was scared. So what you have instead is bad blood between people connected to the government and the Integrity Commission. And we cannot continue in that scenario. Those people must come clean and state what is their position. Or else they must resign or their services dispensed with. And also the Prime Minister, knowing how the Jamaican people think, should come out and state what he has presented as his report over the past 2 years and what is questionable. Because the Prime Minister now will say, him suggest to make report on certain things. There must be something that was presented that is questioned by the integrity body, or the integrity body get information from some other source that they would like the Prime Minister to disclose. The leader of the opposition has come out and said that he has his report signed off on what is his asset and liability, because he intends to make political capital from it. And he was in his constituency the other day at Honest Garden at the conference leading up to one at the arena, asking if the Prime Minister was one of the illicit hits. Whether Prime Minister, members of Parliament, irrespective of their political affiliation, they must come clean and state whether they are being investigated or not. And it is those that bring about questionable situation where people are concerned to come clean and tell the country what is the true position, because you know in Jamaica that if accusation is made, one remains silent, then go and say you're guilty. You can't defend yourself. Am I right or wrong there?
Well, if you are guilty, you are guilty. If you're not guilty, you are not guilty.
Yes, so we want the year to be cleared. We can't have speculation every day you hear opposition at the top. You know that I am a man on the move. A month now, people, PMP out there, are telling me about the Prime Minister criminal as scammer, you know. So it makes sense. They pretend as if all is well. And we have the troops and come behind us. And defend us hell or high water when election comes. Because there are many people out there that is neither PNP nor GLP. And they are not going to participate in the system if you hear pure argument about corruption every day. And people remaining silent. It is time now for us to have action. Those people at the Integrity Commission, they are being paid by taxpayers' money. Politicians are paid by taxpayers' money.
We're up on another break. One moment, please.
Clearing personal non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
Thanks for holding. What was the point you were making about taxpayers' money, politicians being paid with taxpayers' money?
A duty to give account of what is taking place so that we can say we are getting value for money. We can't only pass on the and all kind of argument about what if and then kind of thing there. No country can run so because even the call up from foreign when you speak,
Yes.
and that in Japan, you know. So then that brother kill the Roman meal. Because who that brother here think them are sending back to Jamaica. And in Jamaica now all they love is want to present misinformation. Misinformation is the order of the day. We have to go back to the days when people speak out real information and not be subjected to false information, left, right, and center, short, the length.
Well, you shouldn't have to do that if indeed the truth shall set us free.
Yeah, the truth shall set us free, but that is when the truth come out. That's what I tell you. All who embark on certain part of a particular date, you know.
But it shouldn't matter then when it comes out. If it's the truth, it's neither here nor there, is it?
Nah, man, if you come out now, you make a whole heap of difference, man. Who is regarded as culpable can turn out to be squeaky clean. And who claims that they're squeaky clean can turn out to be vagabond. So when we talk about disclosure, we want it now, we don't want not down the line and people in certain important position and being well paid by taxpayers' money, throwing out carrots and hiding. Come out of your hiding and be a true champion of democracy and not a sniper. Because sniping game and baking game is being played in Jamaica. And as only Smith did sing say, as we fight one another for the power and the glory, your kingdom gone to waste. We don't want Jamaica go to waste. We want progress and prosperity and good governance so that we create a good future for the younger generation that is to come up. Not to emulate skullduggery and live in a climate of uncertainty. Because the people become uncertain in all aspects of life in terms of things that are unfurling at rapid pace. That people have to have their head and their body and sanity intact to keep track of what is going on.
Sounds like you have come to an end.
Yeah, well, I think that will give the people food for thought out there who need to come out and make disclosure.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Integrity Commission and politicians, irrespective of which side they come from. And if any of them know that they are part of the illicit, come out and state that I am being investigated so that it will remove the shadow of doubt from others who don't fall into that category.
We hear you. Thank you for the call. Take care.
All right, okay.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. This message from Bunty says, Mr. Dervan, what's this now? I'm a pleasant good afternoon to all your listeners, Mr. D. We are all a bunch of naive. Hi, Lord, which language is this? Oh dear. A bunch. Hi, something, everyone. Think they are right. God help us all. God help us all. One love, Jah guide. All right, we hope we have properly decoded that message from Bunty. Thank you. This one says, good day, Dervan. Mr. Bunting, what the people need is a government that will take crime seriously and implement measures that work to decrease murder rate and criminality. We need action. None of the governing parties, PNP or JLP, have managed to seriously address crime in this country. Lack of a family structure, trauma, and lack of a proper education is a big contributor to crime. We keep doing the same things and expect a different result. ZOSOs and curfews, what have they achieved? Not sure who this is from, but thank you very much for your message. All the best. Let's go to the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Malcolm, you know, the saga about the illicit six, you see? The saga about the illicit six. Do you know how they arrive when a person has illicit income? Do you know how they arrive at that conclusion?
When the investigation of their assets appear to outstrip the reality of their output.
Thank you, Mr. Malcolm. That's how we know you're right, you know. So, Mr. Malcolm, if they see me have a big house now in a Portmore and a big car, and what if I'm money in the bank, and I have to declare it every year as a civil servant, and they say, wait, never, but your income that you get as a civil servant, you can't attain so much assets. Don't I have a lot of questions to answer?
If you're a public servant, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Malcolm. When you tell me now, Mr. Malcolm, if you have voters out here who you expect to follow the law to clean up the city, and we are a Christian society, don't you think that the Integrity Commission, as well as the Parliament of Jamaica and the parliamentarian, in the interest of the country, in the name of God and the respect for the citizen, should tell this one of them or all of them should come clean to the citizen?
By all means, when you occupy certain positions, you take up these positions with the understanding that you are going to abide by the strictures, by the protocols, the systems, and the qualities that you should possess, which will put you in a position of moral authority.
Thank you, Mr. Malcolm. And this is one of the reasons why people like Moses didn't see the promised land. You know? This is one of the reasons why Joshua didn't see the promised land. You know? So who is going to lead us as a people to the promised land, Mr. Malcolm? Because I don't hear the Governor General saying nothing to the people who he approves as being most honorable and honorable. The Governor General don't have any say in the country, but just being a rubber stamp to the law and the whims and fancy of the Prime Minister. Is that the role and function of a Governor General in this time of the world, Mr. Malcolm?
Well, at this time we need to be clear as to where we're heading. What's the plan?
Thank you.
Yes, we
What
need.
is the business plan?
Yeah.
Because, Mr. Malcolm, you can't come on Power 106, come talk the foolishness to we at the time, you know.
Can't afford to.
Thank you. Hallelujah. And you're paying a Governor General $34 million every year. What you paying him $34 million a year to do? Just to sit down and look and a rubber stamp everything.
Yeah, which is why I said this is the right time. One of the reasons I said that is because our country is supposed to be going through a period of introspection right now. What do we keep? What do we throw away? What do we replace it with, etc., as far as the constitutional reform matters are concerned, and the extent of to which we have a measure of what exactly this country will become by the time we are finished recalculating and restructuring our thoughts and ideas of how a country is supposed to be run.
And don't, Mr. Malcolm, as a citizen of the country, like how me love take up my phone and talk. No, I'm not supposed to be afraid of getting a bullet when me I go home just because I ask the right question and say the right thing.
In an ideal world, no.
Thank you, sir. So I'm going to tell you this now. You see, all of these shenanigans that they're talking about, the illicit six, and they're talking about the Integrity Commission, at the end of the day, see, they're going to use the same thing and test on the population. In that, when like all a place like Portmore now, who is soon to become a parish, to satisfy the political agenda of the Jamaica Labour Party, to kill off the political agenda of the PNP by splitting the parish of St. Catherine into Portmore as a parish and St. Catherine as a parish and change the boundary due to political reasons. That move is going to bankrupt the municipality of Portmore, bankrupt the municipality and turn the municipality into an insolvent place where they're going to call upon the citizens of Portmore to finance it. Where that money going to come from? Let me tell you where they plan to get those money from. When they become a parish, they're going to reroute all of those land titles for Portmore that is registered in the St. Catherine parish. They have to go and re-register back now into Portmore as a parish, which is going to drain a lot of resources from the household of Portmore because you're going to have to pay for those re-registrations. A lot of overseas immigrants, and I think you are the best person to notify these diaspora people who have their investment, work overseas and invest in communities like Portmore. Be careful now because you'll be asked upon to furnish where you get those monies because a lot of you overseas, although you work hard and you tax in America, and you save and send your remittances here to improve on your house in Portmore, you may rent it out. They're going to want to know where those money come from, where the taxes was paid, and if Jamaica has a double taxation treaty with those countries. Because they are capitalists, Mr. Malcolm. They're coming to look money by all means necessary. And another thing that they're planning to do is that when they bankrupt the two municipalities now, they may raise the land taxes on Portmore in order to record money for garbage disposal, etc., etc. Don't you think that the MPs over Portmore and the mayor should be educating the Portmore people about these changes to come, sir?
Well, hopefully they have already started to educate themselves.
No, sir. At a meeting over the weekend, Saturday, in Portmore, where Dr. Fitzhenry was there, and one of the MP for the Waterford Division, one named Bigger, they were telling the people that the municipality who is run by PNP is fighting against the JLP MPs over there by not cleaning up the constituencies in Portmore, so there's a serious political war over there. Where is this politics going, Mr. Malcolm?
Well, hopefully we have at least one person who can make a difference in mediating in that situation. Surely they must be able to find a statesman or a stateswoman to demonstrate a high level of statecraft.
You know what I'm telling the people in my communities to do? Just make sure you go around your own cycle. You know,
sorry, hold a moment, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Malcolm.
For any project, ABC Electrical Sales has all your electrical supplies at the best prices. 8 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 7543714. The time by ABC Electrical Sales is
3:45.
Calling all consumers, hotels, farmers, and schools, this conference is for you. Register today for the International Conference on Climate Change and Food Security under the theme climate change and food security, cabin readiness, at the Cardiff Hall Hotel on October 24 and 25. Features include discussions on climate change and food supply, plenary workshops, displays, networking, poster competition, and more. Register today. Call 876-279-4265 or 876-339-8537 or visit foodhygienebureau.org.
Thanks for holding. You were saying something about householders and their titles.
Yeah, in my neck of the woods in Portmore,
Yes.
people who I'm acquainted with who are willing to listen to me, I am advising them that they must make sure they have the house title. They know how much they pay for the house. A lot of house over there was bought cash, you know, Mr. Malcolm, cash. They don't go through any mortgage in any bank. Make sure you have your receipts. Check with your lawyer. Make sure you have a duplicate of all of those receipts. Any furniture you have in your house, make sure you have a copy of the receipt and you keep a ledger and you keep a diary of the money that you spend on your house so that when they come knocking at your door to look money, you can show them, see my money here and this is where I work and this is what I earn. And run them from your gate. Because, Mr. Malcolm, you see this capitalism that we have on the island here, brandishing the name of prosperity. It's just to transfer wealth from one set of people to another set, you know, Mr. Malcolm. It's not anything that to create any wealth and so that everybody can live happily ever after, you know, Mr. Malcolm. One set just want to feed off another set until them dead. Because I don't hear the bigger man talk in Portmore Saturday night and after Fitzgerald and the whole of them. I don't hear anybody telling people how to merge together and clean up them community. Make sure that we have community meeting and talking about crime and violence. All the talking about how to factor their own personal benefit into vote for them and vote for Andrew Wallace and all of these things. Nobody bringing in the community unity. I'm telling the people what Portmore would look like after it became a parish. Why are they not thinking along these lines?
Well, the people are going to have to decide ultimately what they want and what they are prepared to do.
You know, Portmore has the most millionaire per capita in Jamaica, per capita. And it is also of the highest knowledge base in terms of university graduates. But we don't have any unity over there. We just have mass separation. And nobody seems to understand the bankruptcy of the Portmore municipality when they cut it off from the parish council of St. Catherine. What that will bring to Portmore? Portmore wasn't designed to be a ghetto, Mr. Malcolm. Portmore was designed to be a nice middle-class community, free from political interference. It's not a political garrison. Portmore was supposed to be, you know. But they're turning it into a political garrison. So suppose you see the gullies in Portmore, because Terry Lang is the MP for my constituency in Independent City, and the Portmore municipality would even want to clean the gully over there because Labour right around the constituency and PNP around the parish council. And what kind of something that? You said them supposed to operate, Mr. Malcolm, cut them on another short.
I have to come back to the people in this scenario. It really has to do with those who are involved, those who are going to be impacted one way or another, and the extent to which they are prepared to put forward their positions and projected outcomes. Other than that, all you're going to have, if you don't have the kind of synergy which will then lead to the positive energy of getting it done, if you don't have that, then all you're going to be left with is the cut and thrust of partisan politics, preventing you from achieving whatever you're trying to achieve or whatever you think is best for your community.
and then you take away the people's money through taxes. Because Portmore is one of the few places in Jamaica where you must pay your property tax on time, Mr. Malcolm. Portmore property tax is about 95% compliant, and you don't see the reflection of those property tax on the ground. Well, why is it that Portmore cannot look like Norbrook or Cherry Garden in terms of cleanliness? Why? Somebody tell me why.
Well, just like the song that says, "What's the matter with the world? Has the world gone mad?" And the response is, nothing's wrong with the world. It's the people who are in it. People make decisions, people make choices, people make faux pas, to use the French term, wrong steps.
Mr. Malcolm, who is going to lead the people to the promised land? Who?
They will have to come, believe it or not, from the people.
Thank you, my professor. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for the call. Take care.
It will have to come from the people.
So it is.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Marion Morgan Poetry says, blessings everyone. To you too, Marion. Good to have you online. Inga Gibson says, blessings and love to all. Many happy returns. And we also see, well, Inga Gibson, she has a date here. Not sure what that is all about, but I guess at some point we'll find out. Inez Ayona Campbell, still greeting everybody. Good afternoon, she says. And Sir Dervan, who could have answered my question about Nova Scotia Bank in Linstead, St. Catherine for me? Why is it there are no tellers for cash withdrawal or cash deposit? I would have to go to Spanish to disservice to us, the customers. You could try or start by seeking out the leadership of that particular branch of Scotiabank, or maybe you want to go straight to the headquarters of Scotiabank in downtown Kingston, Jamaica, to express your disgust, your disappointment with the current situation, and see if there are others who share your concerns, which will then trigger the bank's action to some kind of redress, and then take it from there. If that becomes problematic, then you might want to, or if that doesn't seem to be happening, you might want to look around you for alternatives in relation to the kind of service you require. So that's option 2. Outside of that, well, see how it goes and let us know. Good afternoon, Inez Ayona Campbell. Thank you for your message. Nicola in Central Jamaica, good afternoon to you as well. And Cherry Henry says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan listeners. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Cherry Henry. Asha Ash says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Tuning in from London, UK. Have a good day. Thank you very much, Asha Ash. Donovan Campbell says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Good afternoon, Donovan Campbell. Thank you very much for joining us here on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's a caller who already sent us a message. So he's now calling through because his message wasn't the clearest. He calls himself Bunty. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good
afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and all the listeners.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Malcolm, I'm thanking you for your patience. I've never met a man like you yet. I have such patience, believe me. As they say, patient man ride donkey. So I believe that. But I'm not a politician. I'm 75 years of here. But what I've been seeing going in Jamaica, things change rapidly. The world is in turmoil. And because why I say that, I have read a book about that. And there's every corner of this universe right now you hear about war or rumors of war. Which way the Bible speak of that? And not everybody believe in the Bible. Not everyone. I can tell you that. And yet the majority of us grow into a church and say we go to Sunday schools, but they were misleading us from a longer while also. The majority of churches, and I don't care who wants to vex, but I feel the government not feeding me. I have to feed myself. And when we forget a pension, I'm not even getting it. So then I'm speaking my mind. The situation is grave. And why I say that, Mr. Malcolm, I cannot tell you how to run your program, but these people, when they come on the program, ask them what they can do better and make them have their suggestion. For to be frank, at this time, we used to say a village grow a child. And I'm seeing it where no village growing no child again. And having children, parents that can guide them own children. As I have said, many of them right now, parents have to go appear with what children tell them to do. But in the school, I'm dealing with the school right now, parents must take responsibility for their children's behavior. Though you may try to train them in the right and proper way as they leave home, that's a different kettle of fish. And parents know that. So they must take a stand, sit with the children, pray with the children, and let them know, I don't want to go to prison. So try to behave yourself. Someone try to do something, report it to the teacher or walk away. How I see it, Mr. Malcolm, things is getting worse and worse. And everybody been pointing finger at each other, especially politicians. JLP, PNP, and yet they can't do better. I heard Mr. Bunting was giving a speech the other day, was saying about violence and what taking place. He was asking for intervention. Did he get that intervention? And yet he trying to go back in. None of them can do better, Mr. Malcolm. Bible is a fulfillment of prophecy what will be seen. The only thing I see the government can do right now, all those soldiers that are retirement and those who in camp not doing, send them out house to house. Have a raid each community, uptown, downtown, no care which town, each day, and see what if they can alleviate some of the problem. That's the only way. But otherwise, no government, Mr. Malcolm, and that's why our parents teach with this prayer at Matthew 6, verse 9 and 10. We should pray for God's kingdom to come on earth as it is in heaven. Matthew 6:33 also explain we must see God's kingdom first, and all things will be added unto us, meaning have a relationship with God. But none of we are parents can guide with picnic. But if a gunman intends to kick off, don't kill, all we want to kill. But when we have a relationship with God, only if Him allow it to take place, that can happen. And if many of us looking through the Bible and read Job, what happened to Job? Job did not know what really taking place. Sure, Satan, the devil. And many people afraid to talk about the devil, you know. For some people, when they talk about it, they say, you give devil promotion. But we must realize and know what we read. When he was 1914 BCE, you know, that's the time at first place war starting in Ireland. And then back the angel and Jesus Christ back and through Satan. Deceive the whole.
Your biblical attention is appreciated. We have to go to the break now. Thank you.
Mr. Malcolm, thank you for your patience.
Thank you for the call. Take care.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Y ahora es en español, son las 4. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4 heures. 现在几点了？4点。4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. String of messages that we haven't touched yet. Geneva says, teacher, good day. I went to the Highgate Health Center this morning. I had an appointment to see the doctor. A worker said, wait until the nurse comes. To my surprise, it was the security guard giving instructions. I'm an asthmatic person at the age of 29. I had the something or another, went to get a prescription. I ran out of medication for the neb machine. I think that would be the nebulizer machine. I have to use private doctor, or I have had to use private doctors for 12 years and 20 years at the Port Maria Hospital. I did have a problem whenever nurse knew me, so they just say, oh, then every nurse knew me. So they just said, come, we're tired to see you. Those were the days of love. I was turned away without any assistance. I'm out of life-saving medication because a clinic is being run by security guards. Dr. Tufton, it's sad. Geneva. And here's an opportunity to find out from the health minister himself. In fact, he usually appears on a radio program on Radio Jamaica. On Radio Jamaica, I don't remember which day of the week, but he has a radio program. Perhaps you could try that avenue, Geneva. Last time I tried to make contact with Dr. Tufton was during COVID-19, in the height of COVID-19. Haven't been able to since then. That was it. So maybe you could listen to the program that he appears on Radio Jamaica, a health-related program. Maybe that could help to get your message across. This one saying, good afternoon, teacher. Not hearing the broadcast properly. Didn't hear Miss Mervis well. And Ras Lloyd is on and is worse. South of Black River. I think you have something mixed up here. Who is this? The person is Howie. You have something mixed up here. Because Ras Lloyd was not on today, as far as I'm aware. At least not on both sides of the story. So you might want to check the radio dial again. Ricardo is still listening as well. Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada is on. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, asks in reference to a caller earlier on, is that Jamintel or someone impersonating his voice? That was in fact Jamintel earlier today. Cuban in Georgia says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. I have been speaking about the toilet problem for our people in Jamaica for years, and now we see what is happening at Crab Circle. And I'm very disappointed with the KSAMC because Ray and nephew gave them $15 million to improve the location, and they did not include bathroom and sanitary measures in place to facilitate good hygiene and sanitation facilities for our citizens to access in downtown Kingston and rural communities of Jamaica. Yes, Steve, well said. The Jamaican diaspora is in full agreement with that statement, and we endorse it without fear or favor. As Bob Marley said, I don't care who the guy is. Another message from Cuban in Georgia. Sir Malcolm, as a nation and administration, how come there is not enough toilet facilities within our markets and public places of doing business in our major cities and towns across the island, especially the rural communities, so that our citizens can relieve themselves in a decent manner? Sir Malcolm, this is a basic necessity for a government to provide for the taxpayers of any democratic society. Another message from Cuban in Georgia. The shift system is a big failure to the progress of our children's education and their ability to excel in their academic careers, and not giving our children enough time to study and gather information to make a tremendous impact on life as young minds. So let's look at a full day of school and do away with a two-shift system. It's unproductive for the benefit of our children. And the last message we will read today from Cuban in Georgia, since he has sent us so many. Jamintel, I have to agree with you today, and I want to ask you if those illicit six will run in the upcoming local government elections, and shouldn't they be exonerated before they can run for elected office? And is this a breach of the Constitution to have criminal investigations conducted while they run for office? Questions from Cuban in Georgia. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says, Dervan, let me tell the caller, that's what Renito Adams used to do. We never took away their phone, but he never let the crew and members know where the raids were going to take place. His reason was that whenever he told them, some members of the crew were calling friends to let them know what was going to happen. The bad men and the criminals would get out before the raids happen. Salah from Kingston. Thank you, Salah from Kingston. Somebody has sent us a link here. Junior Chung, one more shot up. Well said, Jamintel. Dervan, I noticed that you remain silent when Jamintel's speaking. He's speaking the truth and you need to comment. You can't have questionable people in Parliament making laws. Salah from Kingston. I'm sorry if you don't know that by now, Salah. I can't help you. That goes without saying, actually. So it's neither here nor there at this stage, but it goes without saying. We have talked enough about these matters. We have used poetry, we have used music, and we have commented responsibly when that moment presents itself. All right, let's go to this message here. Bless up Dervan. The same people in government are the ones who put gag clause on the Integrity Commission to protect themselves. We're being led by a very cunning set of people in government. Well, that one is always quite obvious when you think of the fact that it's the politicians who are making the laws. And who would want to make unfavorable laws, which is why we have to have checks and balances like the Integrity Commission. This one says Coronation Market, or asks the question, Coronation Market has a bathroom? Yes, indeed. I saw one down there a few years ago, actually. They do, and it wasn't one actually, at least a couple in that section of the market. Next question, any Jamaican market has a market? Maybe you made an error there, I don't know. And then another one, Captain's Bakery don't have a public bathroom. Well, now you know, so you wouldn't go there knocking, would you? But ideally, yes, it should be part of the setup of any operation, any public business. And that's not to exclude the private ones either, because a lot of us still have to do business with those in the private sector. And we would hope that should the inevitable arise, exactly, we will be able to do in a space where such facilities are made available. Elorid says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. How I don't heard the opposition calling for a probe on the sale of the Bernard Lodge land. Should the public know how much the land was sold for? Well, the public could perhaps, members of the public, whether as a group or as an individual or as a representative of a media house, for example, could make to make a request under the Access to Information Act, make a request to get certain information. So there's a suggestion for you. And let's see also, no, this is not so current today. Yes, this was yesterday. And it says, Ola Dervan, you get someone from customs on program to unravel mysteries of how duties and such is calculated. Not yet. How can an item custom duty be doubled or more than the cost and shipping price? And tell you. Can you tell? All right, here's what's been happening. Might be too much information, but just so you know, we do take very seriously the many requests and submissions and questions that you raise on this program. We do not have a backroom operation of individuals manning the phones and taking the feedback, etc. We try our best. What we have been doing over the last, what date is today? The 10th of October. Since the month of September, we have been doing some organizational restructuring of our home office and library in such a way that we will be able to properly respond to your needs, whether it be just getting information or facilitating an interview, etc. So we're trying to, we have been delayed by a telecommunications issue in the home office. And so we haven't been able to get as far as we wanted to, because the customs story was one we really wanted to start off with. But bear with us. The technicians have told us tomorrow, all things being well, they should be able to fix the problem tomorrow. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Bingo, bingo, bingo! RGR Cleaner and Ballers presents Big Money Bingo! Where the Winston Casanova! Thousands of dollars to be won from more sponsors. Right Diamond Funeral Services and Supplies, Affirm Ambulance Services, and Carib Choice Pharmacy. Look at no prizes and surprises from Sunshine Snacks, Cars Manufacturing, Yummy Bakery, Empire Events Jamaica, Erie Clear Water, and Quick and Ready Gas. Get your tickets now at RGR Cleaner, 32 Linghurst Road, and the Cleaner Company, North Street, for only $1,000. Mister, only $1,000? Big Money Bingo! Friday, October 22nd at RGR Cleaner, 7 North Street. You hear? October 27th, North Street at 7 p.m. Your vibes, prizes, and surprises at Big Money Bingo!
As long as free, our bonds and loyal promises, representatives to thee. I pledge my heart.
Que hora es en español? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:16. 现在几点了？4点16. Well, that time just changed. 17 分. 17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the students listening to us, all the schoolers from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Continuing with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Yvonne Wallace says, good afternoon, everyone. Tuning in late, but we'll catch up. Thank you very much for joining us, Yvonne Wallace. Good to have you on board. And here's a call coming through from Sean. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Chief.
Good afternoon, Sean.
Hi, how are you?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
I'm great so far. I'm good so far, man. Good to talk with you guys. How are you guys doing so far? It has been quite a while since I don't talk with you guys.
Well, here's your opportunity now. Please go ahead. Sounds like you're having some sound effects there too. What's that noise? Some popping sounds.
Chief, one question I would like to ask you. When a caller call in on these shows, how do you guys answer their phone calls? Where are the telephone in those media houses that you guys work at, those radio stations? Where are the telephones are?
Telephones are where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Because you guys listen to their phone calls on a microphone.
No, we don't listen to phone calls on a microphone.
Yeah. Thank you for teaching me these things. You are a very great teacher and a very bright teacher.
You're very kind, Sean. But something is popping. Something is popping in your space right now. I'm not sure what is causing that. It's
sorry about that, teacher. Sorry, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. And I have one more thing I would like to ask you. It's not like I am saying anything bad about the media, because I hear people debating about the media when I watch YouTube videos. Teacher, let me ask you the question before I go. Why the media is not the way that it used to be? Why the media has changed over the years?
Because the only thing in this life that is constant is change. That's not going to change at all.
Yeah. Nothing will not remain the same forever. That is true.
It's just a fact of life.
Because they have a saying that say we must learn to embrace changes. We can't just do the same old thing forever. We must learn to do new and improve things and different things. You know?
That's correct.
Yeah. That is true. Because well, when I was asking you about the media a while ago, because people complaining about television these days. People are complaining that television is not the way that it used to be. You know, that is the thing that I always have a problem with.
Well, there are some things that should never change. If we're talking about the characteristics of integrity and honesty and so on and so forth, the values. If that is those some things you just don't compromise on. There are some things you don't compromise on. You can make compromises in different areas, but when it comes on to values, when it comes on to as we said, honesty, integrity, trust, truth, etc. Some things remain the same.
Yes. One problem I always have with free-to-air television. Let us ask you the question, teacher. Please help me. I always have a problem with this issue. Let us ask you a question about free-to-air television, an issue that I always have with free-to-air television. Why free-to-air television stations in Jamaica keep and repeat the same old programs all the time? That is the thing that I always have issues with. It is the staleness of the content on free-to-air television. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. They could argue that they do have live programs like All Together Sing and Schools Challenge Quiz, Junior Quiz, and other programs. But the station TVJ, if you're talking about TVJ at CVM, they're not the only ones who show repeat programs. There are different reasons why repeat programs are shown. The programmers, because of the nature of programming, they have to have content, and even if it means repeating content. And there's a matter of cost as well, the cost factor in some respects in getting certain series or programs or shows on free-to-air TV. So there's a cost factor there as well. And not to mention, if you want to do otherwise, which is to put on original programs like the ones I've mentioned, like the Schools Challenge Quiz and those programs, to put on those programs is not cheap.
That is true. But let me tell you something. I think I know why free-to-air television keeps repeat the same old programs. Maybe because they don't have enough investment to acquire new and improved movies and series and animation series. I think I understand what is going on. I think I know what's giving the problem. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're spot on.
Yes. Repeat that.
I said you're spot on.
Yeah.
That's another way of saying you're right.
Mhm. Yes. But I believe that some of these media houses are struggling financially.
That is true because we have about 30 or 31 I last counted radio stations in Jamaica. At least 30.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
it's quite a lot of mouths to feed, so to speak, because everybody wants a
mhm,
slice of the cake, but the slice of the cake will be determined by the extent to which that cake is available in the
mhm,
quantity desired.
mhm, mhm. I was having a discussion today, and I said to myself, we what we really need in Jamaica, we need two new and improved free-to-air television stations in Jamaica. We need two more new TV
And
stations.
you think those would be able to to survive current and future conditions in Jamaica?
Yes.
Okay. What makes you so confident? What makes you so sure?
Because you know why I say that? Because I would like to see new journalists on television all the time, new news reporters and new TV hosts and new fresh faces, you know.
But couldn't you get that by just using your remote control?
Yeah,
There you go.
but but where I live personally, I don't access cable. Only one station I have, and it's TV and television Jamaica is not showing. But I watch one stop media on my phone and tablet sometimes. But that other local television station, people always complain about it. People always say that they always see poor signal, no signal. It's always the problem. Especially on Saturday, if the TV was not show for over 2 days or so. Since yesterday, it come back. It always gives that kind of problem.
Well, when that happens, put through a call to the company so that they can take the necessary action.
Yes, yes. If I want to ask questions about that station, shall I speak to a CEO or something like that?
No, you could simply ask for one of the engineers. You'd like to speak with an engineer because you're not able to pick up the station for whatever reason. That information is
Yeah.
important. Once you supply that information to the engineering department, they will now
Mhm,
go in search of the problem with a view to fixing it.
mhm. Yes, yes. But me, teacher, personally, I don't watch TV anymore. What I love to do when I'm at home all the time, watch YouTube videos and read books. I love to read books. I don't fuss when it come on to TV anymore. So I don't really care.
Well, so it is. Thank you very much for the call.
Yeah.
All the best. Take care. Bye bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Natalie Winter has joined us. She says, good afternoon, all. To you too, Natalie. And Karen Rose says, hello, Mr. Malcolm and listeners, just tuning in. Better late than never. Indeed, Karen Rowe, thank you for joining us. And Inga Gibson has a lot to share. Richard McClarty says, I keep listening to the show. Keeps my bones warm in Toronto. Thank you very much, Richard McClarty, for listening in Toronto, Canada.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health. Powering Your Health is Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to health and wellness, your one-stop show to power a healthy lifestyle. How can we help you to power your health? You can reach the show anytime by calling 876-922-4112 You can also send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598. That's Powering Your Health. Powerful health and wellness discussion and interaction. Listen every Wednesday at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM.
I run my strength, my love, and my loyalty to the King.
Que ahora es en español, son las 5:29, que la retire en français, les 5:29. 现在 TDN 了5点下29分 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Here's a call on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
I'm just dreaming of a Jamaica where we can live and play and go to our bed and not thinking about waking up to a horrible story of these. Yeah, and I call it mass murder because you know that from more than one person get killed. It's a mass murder. Mass don't mean that it has to be 150 or so. But we have found out that we have become a country who just don't have no regard to life. Quadruple killing and triple killing is become the order of the day. Dervan, do you feel that the government and the security force is doing enough to secure us, Dervan?
I would like to think that those who have been appointed in the relevant positions, relevant to this topic, that that is what they do day in, day out. We can always debate the extent to which it is done, or in other words, is it enough? Does more need to be done? Is there another area? But then, having said that, one wonders, what is the solution? Because for decades, police commissioners have come and gone, ministers of national security have come and gone, and all the other experts you can think of, and police from overseas doing duties in Jamaica, etc. And we are still here. So the question is, will we ever find a fix for this double-headed monster, crime and violence?
So Dervan, this is my intake investigation. Our police have become the number one investigators in the world. Do you believe that, Dervan? Our police investigators have become the number one investigators in the world. They are so advanced and better than the FBI and the Scotland Yard, and the Interpols of the world, that our police can solve a crime in less than 12 hours.
You sound like you're speaking sarcastically.
Speaking sarcastically, Dervan, because our police would solve a crime in less than 24 hours, Dervan. Most of our crime is solved in less than 24 hours. Dervan, do you heard about the Tupac Shakur investigation? Tupac Shakur was killed 27 years ago, and the FBI has just found that killer 2 weeks ago. Our police is so naive when it comes on to investigation. They'll say a crime commit like 6 in the morning, and then by news time we could heard how the crime happened and who is the person of interest, and sometimes the killer is found immediately, and that crime is solved and done in less than 1 day. Dervan, do you believe that Mr. Clifford Bailey is doing a good job, sir?
I don't know. I haven't looked at his documents to see what kind of work he has been doing all this time, and the success rate he has had in carrying out his duties.
Dervan, I am not attacking Mr. Clifford Bailey, but he is too early sometimes. So sometimes the police got low hanging fruits. Sometimes the police just got low hanging fruit. Sometimes the police don't take time, like months, like even years, to solve a crime, to really get in the nitty-gritty of these heinous monsters. Dervan, have you heard about shot callers?
About what?
Shot callers.
Shot.
That slang. Shot callers.
No, what's that?
Oh, a shot caller is someone who can stay and order somebody to be killed.
I see.
So Dervan, we have now become a police force where the trigger man is the only person that is involved in the crime. What to say about that, Dervan?
What has led you to that conclusion?
Dervan, most of our crime commit as the police get out the trigger man, like the person who them say shoot the person. The crime is solved and done.
Well, maybe you need to help us then, all of us, in terms of putting forward or adding to some of the, was it 1 or 2 suggestions that you shared yesterday? Maybe you could share with us some more.
Dervan, I've spoken about Tupac Shakur, and I've spoke about Mr. Clifford Bailey. He is too fast in his investigation, Dervan. He's too fast. The crime, Dervan, you have to take crime
as something that you have to take it step by step. And I feel say the job to bring Jamaica back to some sanity is bigger than Mr. Clifford Bailey. We need some younger person in those position, and I am not going foreign help. I am not seeking. We should go ahead and get help from.
So what's the solution? Just cut to the chase and give us the solution or solutions, whether one or several.
Dervan, we are not using our university. That is the problem, Dervan.
How so?
Forensic evidence and all of those stuff.
But haven't we heard in recent times an increase in the technology? We have heard in recent times an increase in the technology that is being used in crime fighting in Jamaica. You have never heard that?
Dervan, it has talk about Dervan. It is talk about, but we have not.
It was on TV. They did a feature on it on TV.
No, Dervan, we don't want to see it on TV. We don't want to see it on TV.
Where do you want to see it?
We need to see it on the street.
No, well, it's not going to be on the street. It will operate from a base. It wouldn't be. You couldn't have something like that on the street, unless it is part of the apparatus in surveillance or related matters.
Dervan, sometime crime happens somewhere, and the police would cordon off the place, and to take, for instance, this killing here, and I can mention Holy Palak. And Dervan, those places that those people get killed should be guarded for months and months to get everything like ear, blood sample, everything, footprint, everything, Dervan, not just to run down and find out which gang do it, so forensic evidence, Dervan is.
We have been using forensic evidence in Jamaica. There have been instances of it being used in Jamaica successfully.
Dervan, I just feel that our police force is not doing enough when it comes on to investigation. That is our problem, Dervan. That's why Jamaica is the land of, a person can just wait till somebody is in the Jamaica and just get somebody to kill them, because they know so the police would just have it as a 9-day wonder sometime and it done. That is our problem with investigation. Our police is too early to divulge certain information about people, and so a man can commit a crime and you watch him for years, and find out the pattern.
Hold a moment, please. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
NIS pensioners, early encashment continues. All pension order vouchers dated October 15 may be encashed as of Thursday, October 12. Collect your October payments at your convenience. Simply visit your designated post office. Pension vouchers can only be encashed at post offices. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. The 50-30-20 rule. Creating a budget can help you make confident decisions and enjoy peace of mind. A detailed budget, though, can be complex to manage. For one easy way to plan your spending, you may try using the 50-30-20 rule. It splits expenses into just 3 categories and also offers recommendations on how much money to use for each. The 50-30-20 rule recommends putting 50% of your money towards needs, 30% towards wants, and 20% towards savings. The savings category also includes money you will need to reach.
Son las 5:14. C'est les 5:14. 现在几点了？5点加14分。14 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Let's continue with more on your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. We believe Voice of New York is trying to get on, but you can't at the moment, Voice of New York, because what's his name? I don't have a name for him. The caller who has been on, who likes to call my name morning, noon, and night. I'm not accustomed to my name just being called like that. But anyway, thanks for holding. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, pattern. I was speaking to a friend about 3 days ago, and I turned and said, most of these triple killing and quadruples killing are taking place in 4 parishes.
We missed the first one. Come again.
Dervan, you remember weeks ago you was in New York and I called you and my opening remarks was to tell you about a quadruple killing. I did not use the word quadruple. I used the industry term couple. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I am telling you about the pattern. I was telling someone that Clarendon, if you focus about Clarendon is the parish that have the most triple and quadruple killing. Then you have the adjoining parish, St. Catherine, just an elbow away from Clarendon, a next triple killing there, and over there in St. Anne's. And if you look, most of those parish are that are intertwined. You can just jump out of one and go into the next one.
So that would be part of the so part of sorry. Go ahead.
So pattern and study can know that these are the parish that you will more look for thing you call home invasion. Most of these 4 parishes that I tell earlier, most of these ones, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Anne's, and Trelawney, home invasion. And these are the things that the police and study. These are the things that the police force must sit down and study.
And you're not suggesting that they do no work at all, eh? Zero work?
Dervan, I'll say this, Jane, come and just go to work to collect a paycheck, Dervan. I am not talking about the little constables and the little. I am speaking about the police, like the commissioner and the DSP and the ACP and those big in the force. They are not sitting down getting the young heads in the university. These are things that we have to study now, Dervan. It is something that is in our blood.
So what about
tribal people from Africa, Dervan? We are tribal. Most of us we as black people, we are from tribe from Africa from years, 400 years or more ago.
Well, what about the piece having to do with the reduction in the numbers that the police commissioner has been putting forward, 12% decrease in crime, etc.?
Dervan, most of those things are fictitious and just PR.
Wow, fictitious and PR. Wow.
Yes, and PR. Because the person in the street would tell you that if you go downtown now, you will see somebody getting shot down right in front of you. Anywhere in downtown or Montego Bay. And the next thing, Dervan, example are not being set because the other thing when these judges get this person to set an example, them end up a scoffing, Dervan. We are not ready yet to solve crime, Dervan. And Jamaica would still be the valley of death if the police force do not, and we don't need the outside help, Dervan. We don't need no outside help. The police force must sit down with the younger head in the university and study the DNA of most of these guys who commit the crime. They shoot them down, not because this person shoot 4 person, you have to shoot them. Ask them and get blood sample from them and question them thoroughly, because sometimes these persons are just working for somebody else.
And so what would say to you, you said we're not ready yet, what would say to you, what kind of signal would you be looking out for to say to you that we are ready?
As soon as
the connection just went down a bit. Sorry, the connection went down a bit, but we didn't start hearing what you wanted to say. So go ahead now from the top. Go ahead.
Yeah.
first, if we are not seeing the police knocking on our door each morning and say, "Sir, are you okay? How was your day? How much person live inside that house?" And so on. We are talking about good community policing, good community policing. If the police do not know how much young men sleeping in a house, they're not going to know the subscribe the Armand Dervan. The police must be a part of the community, and the police have to be a part of the community, telling the people good morning, sit down on the corner to the police. Them need to sit down on the corner to. Not under disguise. They must dress in them uniform and don't take no vehicle from nearby. Walk in the community. Walk in the community from 6 in the morning till 6 the next morning.
Okay.
Patrol the place.
All right. Well, we want to. Sorry. Go ahead.
On a day-to-day basis, without doing that the things that them do now by beating up the young guys and locking them up. Just be a part of the community. Just a part of it.
Okay.
And you see crime go down. All the police have to do is just be a part of the community.
All right.
Just come in, tell everybody good morning, and walk out. See to it that each young boy go to school every morning, and when them come from school, them can go to the person who them classify as done. That young man has to just go to school, come from school, go in bed, wake up a morning time, go to school, because the corner too, without being hostile, without a little vehicle pass you now, and then it don't make sense.
Okay. All right, we're going to have to leave it there. We're almost out of time. News is upon us. Thank you very much for your thoughts and your suggestions. Let's see what happens going forward. Thank you.
Okay, Dervan.
All the best. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Tuesday, the 10th of October, 2023. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on. Nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm, reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care. Bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
news, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.